What up traders, what up investors? Today we're going to be looking at Nikola Motors. This is again coming after the close of Friday. We saw some more negative selling down to basically 41, 42. We actually got down even lower. We'll look at that in a second. Again, this is again due to a lot of the stuff on the SPAC, or the Special Purpose Acquisition Company, basically getting out of their warrants. And a lot of people, if you watched a lot about not just the stock, people have just really been hating on Nikola. You can just literally search anywhere on YouTube or anywhere on Twitter. It's just completely just negative. There's I feel a small amount of folks that are completely positive on it or long, and I question that. But now this is really a slap in the face for a lot of those folks, potentially. We're going to go ahead and jump back into the stock here. Kind of talked about this a little bit here. Let's go ahead and just kind of break it down like a 15-minute chart with some after-hour trading. Again, with those warrants coming out. So the main ticker symbol is NKLA. But if you do NKLW, which is the warrants, is basically what happens is these are the special purpose investors, or the early stage investors that want to sell their warrants, or those warrants are coming into fruition or to be sold. And normally I know a particular algorithm that they use to figure out if the warrants are too cheap or too expensive, and it clearly looks like the warrants have not met the complete price of what the stock was. And it's a very complex overall system within price and what's fair and what's not. This is looking like it's going to have to bring down the stock a little bit, really kind of giving it a shake with a lot of volume leaving it, a lot of selling happening to get these warrants to pay up. So let's go ahead and jump back into Nikola here. So Nikola Motors again had that large sell, again a lot of volume coming in. You're talking, look how much volume is after hours. All those shares are being executed to the downside, of course, and it's just going through multiple probably multiple levels of limit sells or limit down moves, in the sense of people just saying, oh, this is my limit order, this is my sell order, and just really just crashing through it. Not a good look, honestly. Nothing I really want to touch, honestly, with this stock right now. This is not a fun place to be right now, especially if you're long it. Thank God we are not long it, because I think it's because we kind of saw this coming. They didn't directly say it, but there was multiple other news medias of like, hey, yo, dude, what's going on over there? Are you guys? What's going to happen when those warrants come into expiration, or they're going to start having a lot of selling, and with the SEC's filings going out, how many people are going to be selling, how many people are holding. This clearly is a huge thing of a potential of just really selling off. Again, I'm not going to go into too much of the fundamentals. They did announce a truck. The truck is still just a bunch of renderings. We haven't seen it. They're saying it's going to be out in December for Nikola's World. Haven't really got much data, as well as how many pre-orders have been placed. So that's kind of a thing that people are scratching their heads about. But that's, again, we'll leave that to the other folks on YouTube and Twitter, and the talking heads on CNBC to discuss the fundamentals. We're here for charts. And again, this is a huge kick in the cojones here. Again, breaking down to 38. We normally don't look at the after hours charts, but this is somewhat important due to the extreme amount of volume that we saw. All this volume's coming in. All this volume came in is more than it was last 2 or 3 days. So we can kind of even look at this at a different time frame. So we're going to look at this here. You can really see here, if I do after hours trading turned on, there we go. You can see on the really large amount of volume just in the last, what is that, hour. From 4, when the market closed, into 5, it was just a slaughter fest, and just a crazy amount of volume coming in. Basically well over 3 or 4 million shares were just literally just liquidated right then and there. So not a good look, again, like we talked about. Let's go ahead and look on where this could be happening come Monday. I don't think this is going to be. This is a lot of momentum to the downside, and I don't see it kind of leveling off unless there's a large institutional holdings that can kind of stop this. What we want to look here to kind of look for the potential downside, we want to do basically what they call a Fibonacci extension. So it's a previous swing high to the low and then to the high again from that low. And we're looking here at those particular price targets. So we're talking about it kind of bounced off the 38.39 level. That's around the 38.2 percentile move to the downside. Potentially, again, a lot of people are going to be coming in who were potentially trying to swing trade it, thought it was going to hold the 50-day simple moving average was around 47 there at the close of Friday. We're looking much lower prices. We're potentially looking for 32. Potentially that's going to be the 50% swing low from the previous extensions there. Even potentially coming down to the 26.55 due to the fact that there's going to be a lot of selling going on, a lot of emotional selling, just saying like, F this stock, I'm out of it, I'm going to go buy Tesla or NIO, this is ridiculous, I don't believe in this anymore, or whatsoever. Just be mindful of that. There's going to be, we kind of see here, we had some make-believe trend lines here. It kind of just broke through it. It never really actually got really above the 21, and that downward pressure just continue pushing it down. And then with the aftermarket selling, it just really just kicked it in the you-know-what again. Again, if it wants to bounce, it really needs to bounce here and starts breaking above 47 and potentially start getting above that $55 price target. But that's, I honestly feel that's going to be very difficult due to the amount of emotion selling is going to be coming in Monday or Tuesday. Seeing this, especially after hours, a lot of people are going to be pretty sick with it, and that emotional selling is really going to come into play Monday or Tuesday. So be very mindful of that, and we might see a transition out of this because, again, RSIs kind of start petering down to the lower side. Volume also there as well. It's really going low as well here. It's well below the negative numbers and can really push substantially lower if this selling really continues. Again, we did see initially that sell-off previously, that $47 price target kind of coming in for support. I don't see this potentially coming in due to the fact that we just had this enormous amount of selling after hours. If we're going to be more short-term, we can jump down to the 4-hour chart here. We're kind of seeing somewhat of a bounce here. Again, that $38 here now kind of trading about 42. But I think that damage has already been set. Again, this has to come with a lot more buyers coming back into the market. Could this be your Robinhood investors thinking this is a bargain? Yes, it could happen. We could also see institutional buyers who had a potential sitting on the sideline waiting to put in money into this. We'll see what happens from there. Bullish. We do have a lot of people buying the $20 calls here, which was kind of strange to me. Again, this was in the basically coming at around the same time with an individual basically purchasing the August 21 3,000, but this one right here is the really large amount of options here, basically $32,000 on this pretty enormous bet. This happened at right before the market closed. So again, buying a very deep in the money call, again 98 percentile move, looking for a potential bounce coming into the next weeks or so. But this is Jan 21 of Jan 2020. So this is extremely far out. So this is a super long-term bet that could potentially come into fruition. We're seeing that kind of play out here on multiple other time frames. Again, here on the Jan 21 15 call as well, kind of placed around the same time as exactly this one. Someone's making a pretty substantial bet on these options. Again, this could be honestly as well some larger institutions coming in, knowing that that sale was going to happen, wanted to get somewhat of a discounted price into coming Monday and maybe seeing a really strong bounce in the next coming weeks. But again, we're talking 2020. This is all the way out well over 553 days. So that's a lot. It's a long time from now. And a lot of things can happen. And I think I wouldn't want to put that money into that. That's a lot of money, but again, we don't know who these traders are or what they're doing. But that is pretty substantial. Again, probably well over $32 million in some options buying there. Pretty interesting activity. We'll see what happens. This is definitely a very interesting stock to see go ahead and play out to a long-term side of things. We'll definitely always keep an eye on it. Potentially could be coming for another trade again. Wouldn't be investing in it. But again, that's just my opinion, just what I would do for my own money. But again, guys, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and jump over to the Discord. That's completely free down in the description below. You can definitely check that. That'd be fantastic. We also have a Patreon page if you want to directly support the channel there. And we have a fantastic live stream coming out on Sunday. Would love to see you there at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time p.m. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Peace.